had always heard stories about the strange occurrences that took place at Walmart. They were always whispered about in hushed tones, as if speaking of them too loudly would invite the horrors to come and find us. But I never believed them, thinking they were just urban legends meant to entertain and scare. That was until I experienced my own Walmart horror story. It was a typical Saturday afternoon, and I had just finished my shift at work. I decided to stop by Walmart on my way home to pick up a few groceries. As soon as I walked through the automatic sliding doors, I felt a sense of unease wash over me. The store was unusually quiet, with hardly any customers in sight. But I shrugged it off, thinking it was just a slow day. I grabbed a cart and started making my way through the store, picking up the items on my list. As I made my way through the aisles, I noticed something odd. The shelves were almost empty, with only a few items scattered here and there. It was as if the store had been ransacked and all the goods had been taken, but there were no signs of a robbery, no broken windows or alarms going off. It was all too strange. I continued on, trying to shake off the eerie feeling that was creeping up on me. But the more I walked, the more I noticed that something was off. The lights seemed to flicker, and the air felt heavy and suffocating. I started to feel like I was being watched, and every time I turned around, there was no one there. I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone in the store. I hurried through the aisles, grabbing what I needed and making my way to the checkout. But as I approached the front of the store, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The cashiers were all frozen in place, their eyes wide and unblinking. It was as if time had stopped for them, leaving them trapped in an eternal state of terror. I wanted to run, to get out of there as fast as I could, but my feet wouldn't move, as if they were glued to the floor. I tried to call out for help, but my voice seemed to get stuck in my throat. I was completely paralyzed with fear. That's when I heard it, a soft, whispering voice that seemed to be coming from all around me. It was chanting something in a language I couldn't understand, but the words sent shivers down my spine. And then, as if in response to the voice, the lights began to flicker and the shelves started to shake. I knew I had to get out of there, but I couldn't move. The chanting grew louder and more frantic, and that's when I saw them. Figures emerging from the darkness, their eyes glowing red with malice. They were humanoid in shape, but their skin was a sickly pale color, and their features were twisted and distorted. They were like nothing I had ever seen before. Terror consumed me as they surrounded me, their voices getting louder and more aggressive. I closed my eyes, hoping it was all just a terrible nightmare. But when I opened them again, I was greeted with the sight of hundreds of these creatures, all staring at me with their glowing red eyes. I felt a hand on my shoulder and I screamed, thinking it was one of the monsters. But when I turned around, it was a Walmart employee, looking at me with confusion and concern. I looked around and saw that the store was back to its normal state. The shelves were full, the lights were on, and the cashiers were moving and talking to customers. I stumbled out of the store, shaking and in a state of shock. I never went back to that Walmart again, and I still have nightmares about that day. I never believed in the Walmart horror stories before, but now I know that they were all too real, and I can't help but wonder what other horrors lurk within the walls of that seemingly innocent store.